Okay, good afternoon, guys. So I just wanted to quickly just kind of walk you through the template and kind of give you my thoughts on it. And if we need to start some dialogue via email, we can. But at least then you guys kind of know what I was thinking when I kind of set this thing up. So that original folder that I shared with you guys called the Cultural Awareness Handbook, you can also find it in your CityU shared cohort folder. And you all have view access for every other document. So what that means is that Cheryl, for example, could look at Ed's and Jen's in case you needed to just see what everybody else is doing or get some ideas to ensure that we've got some consistency. But you only have editing privileges on your own. So the one that I shared with you with your name on it, you have the ability to edit that. If you don't, let me know so I can change that. But essentially, yeah, you each have edit access to your own, but you're able to view all the rest. So let me just kind of show you the one that I've started on, the Métis, and kind of just walk you through this, and then I'll use this demo one to do the demo too as well. So the very first thing is it says Métis on all of them. So you're going to highlight this and then change this to whatever culture you're doing. So if you're doing like Italian, you would put that in there. If you're doing Indian, you would put that in there. Okay, and then you'll notice that when you click on these links, it'll actually take you to the individual sections. And you'll also notice that I've kind of split the pages up with page breaks, and that's just to allow for the citations to kind of flow a little bit better. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Now, I talked to a few people, and I I want to make sure that everybody understands that I think that the purpose behind this is to actually create like something that might be valuable for us moving forward. So if we put too much content here, then nobody's ever going to use it, right? You just go to Wikipedia if you really needed to know all that information. So instead, what we want to do is just highlight kind of like the main points, but then also provide links, references, and citations to where you found that information, as well as other information, especially to ensure the rigor here. Make sure that we have some scholarly articles in here as well. Um, so you'll see as I go through this, I've got this cultural symbols here on the left hand side, and essentially this is just straight off of Google using the research, and then just a brief description underneath. You might have multiple cultural symbols that you can throw in here, and maybe you don't even have a description. But again, just like something that's visual there that says something that's important to the culture. And then, like under the languages, for Métis, like again, we don't want to have like a huge definition here, like just something that's short and sweet, so that if we were just to quickly refer back to this, it's Métis language is called whatever, and it's a mixed language. It also has some English words in it. But if somebody really wants to know more about this, they can just click on, you can see that I've set the link up to go to Wikipedia. And then under religion, you've got Métis were brought up in the Catholic, but again, just a brief description so that when somebody quickly looks at it, you're able to see exactly the content that they're looking for and quickly. And then again, on that one, that's the number 4. So I could come down here if I really wanted to know more. I could click on this link, which is again a link to a website. Okay, and then I've still got a couple to do here, but then what I figured was that would probably be the easiest for us to fulfill the rigor requirements would be to put scholarly research articles under the education/research. And I think honestly we should aim for like 5 to 10. And when you think about it, that's not that difficult. All you're doing is finding documents, papers, whatever else that relate to your culture and schooling or education. Okay, so what I did for these actually was I just used Google Scholar, and I was able to find some great ones on Métis in the education system. I mean, you can always go into the CityU library as well and grab some from there. The only limitation is getting that citation. So the only way to really put citations in here is by using that research tool. So here's kind of the workaround. Actually, what I'll do is I'll go into the demo document and show you that. So let's say on the demo document, I'm doing Inuit. Okay, and so I'm going to go down to the education system and research, and then I'm going to go to Google Scholar. Okay, and I'm going to search for Inuit education. Okay, so again, I'm going to look through some of these, look at the abstracts. National Strategy on Inuit Education 2011, that looks pretty good. So I can always cite that. Okay, so it's right there. I could copy that if I needed to. But more importantly, I'm going to keep this open so I can refer back to it, come back into here. And now what I'm going to do is open up that under Tools, Research. Now, important thing, when you open this up, and every time you open it up, make sure that you're using APA. So you need to click here and choose APA, because by default, it's MLA. And you'll almost always know that you're doing APA when it's got the date and the author first, okay? That doesn't happen in MLA. So inside of here, I'll do the exact same thing, Inuit Education. And just hit enter. Oh, but instead of doing Google searches, I want to use Scholar. So this is going to give me all those scholarly documents. Okay, so here's one right here. So I'm going to actually insert this. So I'll click insert. Okay, and it's got, there's the document right there. Okay, and then I'm going to also cite it as a footnote. And then what it'll do is include it in the bottom as well. Okay, so that's just going to build up those references at the bottom of each of our pages. Okay, so the reason that I'm going back and forth is you can't really see anything else here, and to make sure that it's actually a legitimate source, I might click on it, go through the abstract. Yeah, policy and education, the Canadian Arctic, perfect. That's exactly what we want. That would be a good one. So same thing, that's the 40 years of struggle, okay, and still no. So I'd come back over into here. Let's look for that 40 years of struggle. Here it is right here. So I'm just going to hit enter to go to the next line. Same thing. I'm going to insert this and then cite it. There's two of my citations right there. Again, I can see that they're in APA because I've got the author and then the date right after. Okay, and let's check out another one here. This looks good. Culture from the igloo to the classroom. Let me just click on it to make sure that it's describes differences between the, yeah, perfect. Okay, come back into this. So that's the culture from the igloo to the classroom. So culture from the igloo to the classroom right there. So I'm going to also insert and then cite as a footnote. But again, that's fairly straightforward and really easy for us to, again, just add those references. So I think we should be aiming for like 6 to 10 scholarly articles or research articles on whatever culture you're doing and their experiences in education. Okay. Now, the other thing you can do too is if you can find links or PDFs to those actual documents, then you would probably just highlight the article itself or the name of the article and then put a hyperlink in there. So let's see if I can actually find one. So let's just do Inuit Education, search for PDF as an example. So Ontario First Nation, Métis, and Inuit Education Policy looks awesome. So I'm actually going to copy that link. Ontario First Nation, Métis. So I'm going to come back into this. Ontario, Métis. What's the other one called again? Ontario First Nation, Métis, and Inuit Education Policy. Okay, so, oops. Ontario First Nation, Métis, and Inuit Education Policy. Okay. Man, I can't find it. Ontario First Nation, Métis, and Inuit Education Policy. The other option you can do is to actually grab this link. So I could copy that, bring it over into here, and I could paste that. But we gotta go everything. And there it is right there. So then what we could do is Normally searching it's a little bit better, but for whatever reason I can't find this one. Okay, we could insert the link. So there it is right there, and then cite it. So just like that, we've got another scholarly article. You can see that at the bottom here, it's being added. Okay, and again, it's following APA. So this is a nice way that now if somebody wanted to access that document, they could click on it. Just make sure that those links actually work, okay? So pretty good, not too bad. So hopefully you guys have got the idea there. Again, you know, go to Wikipedia, go, you know, get 6 or 7 sources, and then every time you find something, then just kind of link back to it. So let me show you, let me use the languages as an example. So I'm just going to type in Inuit languages. Okay, and I'm going to go into, yeah, Wikipedia is pretty good. So, okay. So the language of the Inuit is an Eskimo something language closely related to the Yak and most remotely in, yeah, so right here, basically this is what I want. So I'm going to copy all that, bring it over into here. I'm literally going to paste it. And the only thing I'm going to do is just highlight that and just remove the formatting so that it comes back in like everything else in our document. Okay, and again, we have all those links in there. You can remove some of those links if you don't think that they're important. So like Alaska, I don't care about, so I'm removing that. I'm removing this. Okay, and then what I want to do is cite this entire thing. Okay, so same thing. I'm going to go up to here. I'm just going to copy that. Oops, throw that in to there. It's going to load it up right as my first link. Okay, and then I'm just going to use the citation tool right there. So you can see that that now becomes citation number 1. If I scroll down, it's going to be 2011, Inuit languages, Wikipedia. Now, just be careful. We don't want everything to be Wikipedia. Okay, so make sure you're grabbing from a number of sources, but that's, you know, a pretty good idea of kind of what we're looking for. So as you're finding information, put it in here. Include links that you think are important for if somebody wants to expand their learning on whatever topic we're on. Okay, and then, you know, I think for the most part that's pretty much it. You're just going to start working your way through the document and trying to, you know, add to the specific things. Like for cuisine, same thing. I'm just going to type in Inuit cuisine. Okay, so there's Inuit diet. I'm not always going to hate Wikipedia, but in this instance, so hunted meats. So you can see Bannock. I don't even know what this is, that Akutak, but I'm going to click on it. So I might grab that. Akutak, just the way that it sounds. So I'm going to go Akutak. I'm going to link that by just adding a hyperlink. And then I'm going to cite that by typing it in there. There it is. So I'll hit cite. And then again, you can see that has been added automatically. Now, the only other thing that I did was at the very bottom for the multimedia, I thought it would be kind of cool if we included like 2 or 3 YouTube videos on important Inuit lessons or whatever, in case people wanted to refer to them later. And then just a couple of Google image searches if you want to do that. So all I did with that was just typed in like Inuit, went to images for Inuit. Okay, copied that link. Okay, so that's literally Inuit. And again, I'm just going to, oops, I got the comma in there. Okay, and then I'll just do like another search just to make it easier. So Inuit art, that's a good one. So then all I do is just copy that, do Inuit art, same thing, just link it. All we're really doing is just providing an easy way for people to get to particular things on that custom or that culture. I think that's it. Again, just kind of work on this. If you got any questions, maybe just create an email and send it out to everybody so that everybody's on the same page. But yeah, I think for the most part, it should be fairly straightforward. If you have any questions, don't hesitate. Have a fantastic weekend, everyone, and I'll see you soon.